kind of get our full-blown acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Willys edition. Some people say wheelies, some people say Willys. We're just going to say Willys for today's video's sake. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Provo, Utah for giving me some time with this Gladiator. This one is available for sale right now. If you're interested, check out the inventory in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6 that goes for an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 17 around town and then 22 on the highway from a fuel economy standpoint. We've got 3.73 axle ratio, and then power outputs are 285 horsepower and then 260 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of this Willys edition, whatever you want to say. Anyways, you guys can see here, you have that so you can lower down the windshield onto the hood, which is pretty cool. We have our Willys wheelies sticker right there. And then you guys can see here with the daytime running lights and the LED headlamps, this is an option you can get. And then off to the side with the turn signals, this one has the black front grille, which I think is a must because it just looks so cool with any Gladiator. I'm not saying just for the Willys package, I'm just saying with the Gladiator in general. And then you got the regular bumper here with the tow hooks here on the top nose. Those are blacked out. Fog lights as well, some more gloss black trim. And yeah, looks good from a front end perspective. Now coming to the side here, we've got two 55mm tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear. And this is one of the coolest things about the Willys packages. First off, the wheels are blacked out, so they look fantastic. But you've got these mud terrain tires. And then here's a quick look at the front suspension. Just like other Gladiators, you still have the solid front axle, which helps out with articulation quite a bit. Notice the Jeep Gladiator badge has been blacked out, so the blacked out accenting. We've got rock rails here on the side as well. And then you've got the anti-spin here in the rear, which kind of mimics a rear locker. That's also part of the Willys package. Solid rear axle, just like we have in the front. And you guys can see these shocks here. It's kind of hard to see from this angle. So you can see underneath with the whole shock set up there in the back. And this one has the black hardtop. There you go. So here's our key fob. We have our unlock function or lock function, then remote starts, and then you got the flip out key, just like other Jeep Wrangler and Gladiator models. Now, we have 913 pounds of payload capacity. You guys can see here with the bed protection. LED lights here in the back. You can see the whole setup right there. No cargo light or anything there at the top. And one thing I love about the Gladiator is it has like the lightest tailgate in the mid-size truck segment, which I think is great, but there's the bed. Now let's finish things up with the rest of the rear. So you just have the standard taillights here in the back, and then notice again with the blacked out Jeep badge, and then you got your 4-wheel drive sticker there. And then you can see the bumpers are blacked out with the black tow hooks. Receiver hitch down below, and ooh, look at that. We get a full spare that's also a mud terrain. That is a big plus if you ask me. There's the rest of the rear. Now first off, you guys can see we've got some padding here on the door panel, and then I love the handles with the Gladiator and the Wrangler. And then here are the seats. So you can see dark coloration on the seats. Pretty cool setup. Got the vents there with the window controls in the center. And then notice there with the cup holders, we got the rubber floor mats all across. And you know, space back there is pretty solid. Again, it's just like any other Gladiator. So here's the front door panel. Again, you've got the padding, you've got like a little cargo net down below. And then here are the seats. So again, with the black cloth for the seats, you've got all of your manual adjustments here on the side. Pedal layout down below. And then you guys can see here for the light controls, you got that for the fog light and the cargo light. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. Let's pop in. Now here is the steering wheel. You guys can see we've got the leather wrap steering wheel, radio controls here on the back. And then notice we have our cruise control here on this side, controls for the center stack, voice command, phone controls, turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock, and well, there you go. Now we've got the gauge cluster here. Notice we've got the RPMs over there on the left side, speed over on the right side, and then you have that screen there in the center which you can scroll through different bits of info. Most important thing, since it's an off-road package, you guys can see the off-road status with what is happening, which is pretty cool. And other than that, there's a center. Here's the infotainment system. First off, we've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel, and we also have a zoom function here with the camera. And aside from that, as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time's great. Notice this has heated seats and a heated steering wheel. And then going over to the climate control section, you can see we've got dual zone climate as well. And so pretty solid setup with some luxury features. You notice here at the dash how it's gray, we've got the Jeep grab handle. And then we've got all of our controls here for like the radio, the dual zone climate system, the heated seats, heated steering wheel, and analog format. And then recirculate button, which is a Wrangler, which is funny. And then off-road cruise control, also a Wrangler. But this is great for crawling, and it can actually get over quite a few obstacles. Again, this doesn't have, it has the, differential system. It's not quite a locker, but it kind of mimics one. But still, this will help you get over quite a few obstacles if you use it. Window controls here. Then you've got your little media center here. Auxiliary switches, you've got 4 of them, 12 volt, and then shifter for that 8-speed automatic with the manual shift function. And then here's our drive line select. You've got your 2-wheel high, 4-wheel auto, 4-wheel high, part-time neutral, and then 4-wheel low. Couple cup holders, got our traditional brake here. Center console set up, pretty practical. And there's the glove box storage. And then, since this is a hard top, just like a Wrangler, you can take off these 2 pieces pretty easily with these little tabs. The rest, you got to use tools for. You can do it yourself, but it's easier to do it with another person in terms of lifting up the back portion. But, oh, universal garage door openers too. So here's our window sticker for this Willys. I think this will make it a little bit more visible for you guys. Yep, there we go. So you can see base price, $36,085 for anything is added. And then you can see here for the package itself, this is a 24W 6295. There's some other packages added onto this on top of that. After everything has been added with this particular one, total MSRP $53,495. If you guys are wondering, it's called the Track Lock Anti-Spin Rear Differential. For that system I've been talking about, that'll help you get out of mucky situations. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off here. So first off, visibility over the hood is great. Both the mirrors throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. Setting off in the Willys, whatever you want to call it, edition. People always argue about it still to this day. It's funny. And I'm sure I'll get some comments that'll still argue about it. But anyways, here's the deal. This is a pretty interesting package. This is a pretty good value package if you get it like in a base model form with a Wrangler or a Gladiator. Fully loaded like this, it's kind of interesting, but there's still a purpose for this. I will talk about that later in the video. But first off, it drives like a Gladiator, so it's pretty unique in terms of how it drives because you have solid front and rear axles. Most vehicles have at least independent front suspension, if not independent front and rear suspension, and so this definitely has a more old school feel to it, right? Steering's a little bit more on the vague side of things. It's a little bit rougher, going over bumps, but that's kind of part of the experience of driving a Gladiator. It makes it exciting because it's different, right? It's not like everything else on the road. Now with the 373 gears, it actually spun the tires a little bit there. That was not intentional. It's good with the acceleration. It gets up and moves. Now aside from that, the steering's vague, but handling's actually pretty good overall. It is zippy, small. It feels great. And we'll kind of get our full-blown acceleration here. Now with the 8-speed automatic, it's improved this acceleration so much. The Gladiators only had the 8-speed, but the Jeep obviously had the 5-speed. Short little drive, but I just wanted to kind of feel how these tires feel over bumps and everything, just to see if it's a huge difference compared to a Rubicon. They seem to be a little bit louder. I mean, it makes sense, they're mud terrains, but comfort's about the same with these as you get with a Rubicon. So why should you buy this package? First off, I think this is a great package to get in like base format. Kind of like what TFL has, right? With Tommy's Jeep, he got it in base format, and so it's just a really good value for everything you're getting from an off-road perspective, right? With the aggressive tires, and so you get really cool looks at a really affordable price. Now, what about this one, right? This one's pretty fully loaded, pretty expensive. This still makes sense because this gives you Rubicon looks, right? Because you got the aggressive tires, and you get comfort features with this one too. You get the nicer headlights, which I would get, frankly. Even if I got more of a baseline one, I'd at least get the upgraded headlights, because visibility with the regular halogens is not great. But continuing along, right? You've got some creature comforts with this. It looks really cool, right? It looks as cool as a Rubicon or a Mojave. It's less expensive than both of those with similar features. So that's where this one is. This is this particular one in my mind, I mean, you could still take this off-road, obviously, it'd be super capable, but this particular one I could see as like a great mall crawler. I think this is better to buy than a Rubicon personally, because, you know, with the Rubicon, you're paying extra money for the Rubicon name, and then you're paying for the front and rear lockers, Fox shocks, and then the sway bar disconnect. And if you never take it off-road, you're not going to get any benefit from any of those features. So if you really just wanted a cool looking Jeep straight out of the box, that's what this gives you. And then if you want to do kind of more of like an inexpensive off-road type build, then this, minus all these crazy options this one has, is great to go for. So there you go. That's going to sum things up for our video on this Willys edition. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Provo, Utah for giving me some time with this Gladiator. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see all of you in the next video.